Okay, assalamu alaikum and welcome to this wedding collection suit reviews that I've stitched. The fabric is pearl net with this thing called nakshi on. It's like a shiny stonework, and basically the fabric was loose fabric. We had to make purchases to combine the whole set. So there is a video to go with it where I've done a very in-depth detailed purchasing and guidelines on this. Now we have used a lot of fabric and it is 7 outfits in total. This one is for like a 11-12-year-old. It's a sleeveless dress which I've used jamawar for the top bodice, and then I've used the net for making the full skirt. The skirt, I've lined this in double fabric. I've used chiffon to give it the colour, and then I've used a silk just to, one, give it the weight, volume, and also this was the spare fabric. This was the original purchase that the girls made to go underneath this, but I wasn't in favour of using this. We've also used pearl lace to go with this just to finish it all off. So the bodice on this is fully lined. It has an invisible zip at the back, full zip, so that it's easy to get on and off. And basically that's there's two that I've done in this design, so 2 different sizes to go in this design, and then I've done like a dupatta with both of them. So that's just to get that all done. Now I'm going to fold these and put these neatly away so that they're ready for collection, which is going to be pretty soon. Now you do get a lot of beads left over, and I have given instructions on what to do with these beads as well. Okay, the next outfit that I'm going to show you is a trouser suit. This is also in jamawar. It's a lined trouser, a narrow cut lined trouser. Now the suit on this is fairly plain and fairly bland because it is going to have a jacket on top of this. That's the fully lined kameez. I've just used a motif, just one motif there, just to give it a little bit of, now this looks a little bit dull when you look at it like this, but when it's combined with the dress on top, then it looks really pretty. So that's the dress, and then the jacket. Okay, this is the jacket with this. It's a full length panelled jacket, finished with quite a few trims, a little bit of the motifs, and it really is, you can only tell the look on these garments when they're worn, you know, when they're combined and worn. So this is for one of the girls. So this is outfit number 3. The first 2 were similar. Now the beads with this one are a little bit of a pain. They do come off very easily, so you know, when you purchase your beads and so on, make sure to buy a good quality beads so that they don't go falling off. Now because we required so much quantity, it was very difficult to get such a large quantity in one design, so we got a couple of different designs. There was a lace that I purchased which I've used and which was not that much, so I had to like really think hard and, you know, decide on what to use on where. Okay, so if I put all these into order, then we know what's what, and I don't need to do that again. Now there is a scarf with this as well. Make sure we combine all their own scarves and so on. Okay, so the scarf again is edged in the jamawar and the pearls to give it the full look. So that's completed outfit. there. Then we go on to our outfit number 4. This is a lehenga, a full round cut lehenga, similar cut as the dresses, except that those have bodices attached. This has been belted with space left on so that drawstring can be put through. It's zipped, and it's also edged with a heavy border. So this is the lehenga skirt. The lining that I've used is similar to the dress fabric that we've used for the previous dress. Now the tunic, little short kurti dress that we've made with this, again it's been all detailed around the neckline, invisible zip at the back because it's quite fitted. It's been pearl laced all around the edges, pearl laced on front of the sleeves, and this one is fully lined including the sleeves because we don't want this to irritate. Okay, I wanted to make them as comfortable as possible. And then again we've got the same jamawar edged dupatta in the chiffon. So these are 2.5 length dupattas, because long dupattas look nice on top of these type of dresses. So that's outfit number 4. I'm going to place these one on top of each other so that we're all ready for the girls when they come. Now outfit number 5 is a princess cut dress. The dress is this jamawar I found very difficult to sew, and also there were a few problems with this, and I only realized once I started stitching this. There is a lot of stiffness in this, there is also a lot of curling in this. It looks very nice, but unfortunately it's very difficult to sew. In comparison to the other one, although it frays, it doesn't curl as much. This one, I'd be very, if it's got a lot of metallic thread, then I'd be very cautious when I buy that, because that's going to cause you problems. It has a tendency to, especially when you press it, it just curls up. So because of that, I had to add a fairly big border to keep the drop down. Now it is going to have a jacket on top of this, so alhamdulillah, that's not a problem. It's going to have like a fairly stiffish look, and the jacket to go with this is this. So it's going to have, the jacket is similar design, it's a narrower size, but it's a similar design to the one that I've shown previously. Different border, because this is for a different person. I've narrow bordered it on top of here because I wanted to keep the color of the dress as much as possible. So that's a full length panelled jacket to go on top of this. I've just simply done one hook just below the bust line, just to keep it closed. So it's been this has been a very demanding and tough week for making these, and anybody who is a machinist and who does sewing, I would say be very cautious when you take orders like this, because they can drive you crazy. I know at times I was losing my mind when I was sewing this. Right, so again, a pearled edged jamawar edging on the dupatta. I'm gonna have to give this another press because it's not kept its shape. Okay, now outfit number 6 is a very wide gear, double the width of the others gear dress, with the jamawar lining. Now with this one I had a problem with the edges turning, and I used a fabric, bias cut fabric, to actually finish this off in. It has bodice jamawar and then a fitted zip on the side, and sleeves with a pearl lace attached to the front. I've used motifs that I cut out just on the waistline, just to emphasize the waistline a little bit. And again, this has got a similar dupatta and a very nice, wide, beautiful flowing. Really, to get the beauty of these dresses, they have to be worn. So I'm going to be looking forward to maybe getting the pictures back from okay, and that's the dupatta. Okay, the last one is like absolutely ginormous because this is for the main lady, who is the person who actually got in touch with me and requested. She is quite a large size, so the dress is wide. Now this one is a panelled insert dress, and the width on the gear is absolutely massive. This is like a bride's dress, and really I don't know, this is something that I've done totally. This is not something that I actually briefed her on, and I did it totally out of my own imagination. So I do hope that she likes it, because it does look really full and absolutely, you know, she wears a hijab, and I think it's gonna really look nice, because everywhere I've done the cuts, I've brought the pattern in together to emphasize the impact of the florals. Big sizes never look good. That's one of the biggest problems, that big sizes. That's why when designers they use very thin models, because they can show off their garments on thin models far better than you can on a very big person. Often the problem we have is when you sew something to this scale and it has a lot of flow and gear, and the person is big, it looks like, you know, sad to say, it sometimes gives the impression of like a big tent. So many people would be very reluctant to sew, you know, stuff which is overly sized. And I fully understand the reasons for that. Now with this dress, we've used a full width fabric, and I've made a cape dress, a cape scarf. I've done a hole in the center, not in the center, leaving about a certain degree of fabric on the one side. And really, I'm gonna have to get her to try this on to see what it looks like. She can wear it as a cape, or she can just hold it up and wear it as a dupatta. But normally with these cape ones, they're a lot more easier to handle, because you can put that through your head, and once it's around your neck, it's not going to slip away, and then you can tie the scarf up as you like. So that's the full. She wanted a flowy full width, so I went for the full width of the fabric. Pearl laced it all the way, and alhamdulillah, that I am so relieved to get this over and done with. So now they're going to come and collect these, and I hope they actually like what has been designed, because it has been a mission. And you know, when you put so much effort into something, you want the result to be liked, and really you want them to be able to get the full wear out of it. Now these pearl laces do require a bit of hand touch, unfortunately. They do fray out. No, they fall out. The beads need to be tied up. So this is one edge that I didn't tie up, and you don't want a trail of beads wherever you're walking. So just make sure to knot where knots are required. Okay, almost reality time. So I'm going to see what the verdict is in a little while. I will give you the verdict, and I will post the pictures on when I make a request to the girls, as one of the reasons why I saw stuff like this is to inspire and to show you guys what can be achieved if you're willing to put the time and effort. Now, if you have plans, if you have a wedding or something coming up, and if you plan to design something like this, then I would give you some advice on how to go about doing something like this. If you purchased fabric like this and if you didn't have the design in mind, then you are going to face serious problems. It's not a very easy process. It's quite a costly and time consuming project, which I would say that prepare well in advance and make plans well in advance, because if you leave it last minute, you are going to run into serious problems. I dread to think what these girls would have done if I had not agreed to stitch these. Because it's not just about purchasing the net fabric, it's about purchasing the right the right underlining, the right beads, and the right dupattas, and the right bits and bats, and then the right designs, and then who's going to stitch them, and has the person that you're going to hire to sew these garments out of this very expensive fabric, are they able to conform to your requirements? Because one of the biggest problems that we often have is the customer has this image in their mind, but the designer or the machinist cannot pick on somebody's brain to know what that image is. And unless you are very, very clear and or you're doing it yourself, it's going to be very difficult to explain. So try to prepare well in advance and design it in such a way that you can match all the things that you want, or the person that you're hiring to match all the things can do it well in advance, and you are happy with. Sometimes it can take you ages to find the right things. I mean, we were fortunate to find some of this jamawar fabric to go with this. I had to make quite a few trips before I did manage to get this. I purchased a whole roll of this chiffon, and even then we ran a little bit short and we had to use the chiffon in place of the jamawar. Jamawar is quite costly as well, and as I mentioned, it's not an easy fabric to stitch. It frays very easily, it curls, and it's a nightmare to handle. So I would be very, very reluctant to take anything like this on again, knowing the facts, what I've been through. This isn't to put you off. You can do it, but you just have to spend so much, and for a machinist it's just not economically viable to take on a task like this and to spend so much time, because normal clothing you can do maybe 2, 3, 4 suits in a day. With something like this, you're struggling to do one in a day, and then how are you pricing your skills? So for someone like me, it's not worth it to take on something like this and to spend like days and days on end, because one, I haven't got the time. As much as I love to be adventurous and style all these, it's very difficult to fit in the time schedule. So anyway, that's about it. I have now I am in the preparation of doing some alterations to some curtains and so on, because my son is moving, and I've just gone and purchased curtains, and they're just a little bit short, so I'm going to cut into them, and I'm going to add a little bit of my personal touch and a little bit of detailing, which I will inshallah share with you when I share the layout of the houses once we move there. So take care, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.